Well, I've been a busy little beaver. The 2 week intensive refit phase of my working here is done, so I've just been coming here in the evenings. Uh, but as you can see by looking at the boat, it looks like it has chicken pox. It's not actually chicken pox. The above the waterline is just in primer, it's not paint. And of course, there's lots of sanding divots and scratches and nicks and stuff. So what I've done is I've gone over the hull from the waterline up and filled those sanding divots and nicks and so on with glazing putty. That's a trick that I actually learned from when I was in the automobile industry. This is glazing putty. You can see there's not much left because most of it's on the boat. It cures, or it doesn't cure, it dries out relatively quickly. I came here last night and put all of this on the boat, and today it's dry as a bone. And as you can see, I've already sanded some of it off. I'm going to give you a close up so you can see the effect. So this is glazing putty that I've just smeared over holes and nicks and so on. And there's the glazing putty that I've sanded down. What remains is low spots. Right, so these roundish kind of places are where my sander dug into the gel coat. Up there you can see marks from where I hit the side of the boat with my angle grinder. There was a hole up there and I filled it up with epoxy and then glassed over it, and I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, there was a drip. There was a drip of epoxy that came down the side, and so I decided to take it out with the angle grinder rather than spend hours with my fine tool. So today's job is to continue sanding and to refill all the places that I've missed. Tomorrow, hopefully there won't be too much sanding to do, and I might even be able to shoot a coat of primer on it, provided the weather holds. The weatherman is somewhat ambiguous as to what the weather's going to do for us. It's supposed to be like a 10% chance of rain today, but on my way here it was already raining. The wind's picking up, the temperature's dropping. You can see the clouds behind over there. So I'll keep going as long as it's not raining, and hopefully we can get it done. So enjoy the show. I managed to get one side sanded off and re-puttied, and then the rain started. So it's about 6 o'clock right now. So I think the rain is going to be the rain is trying to tell me that it's time to go home. So I'm going to clean up and go home. Hopefully it's just a local shower. It kind of looks a little bit lighter to the west, and tomorrow I can come back and get the other side of the boat sanded down and re-putty. So this is going to push back my time frame again, but it's just the way it goes in boat world, isn't it? I also managed to get 4 coats of inner protect on the bottom. So I'm going to let that harden up, cure up for a couple of days. The last coat went on Tuesday. Today's Thursday, so that's 2 days already. I'll probably leave it for another day, and then I'm going to move the poppets, the jacks, and get 4 coats underneath those. I also have the problem of what to do with the blocks underneath the keel. I need to lift the boat and move those, and I'm a little bit intimidated by doing that. This thing weighs 10 ton, and it's most of the weight is on the keel. The jacks basically keep it balanced, so I'm not sure how to proceed with that, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. Welcome back. Today the weatherman has cooperated a little bit, given us some sunshine. It's fairly warm out, so I'm going to get busy and do my sanding. Yesterday's video was a little bit blurry because the rain got all over the lens of the camera, but I think you kind of get the gist. The above the waterline looks kind of awful, but I will sand it down again, and then hopefully this weekend I can prime it and maybe even paint it, depending on the weather. The forecast is for rain through next week, so it's not looking promising, but that's okay because we've got work inside that we can do. I need to get the woodwork finished and ready to put back on. We're getting very, very close. So enjoy the sanding video. It's your favorite thing, so it's my favorite thing, I know. Well, that's it for all the sanding of the putty. It's kind of funny. The sun's setting a little bit, and the angle of the sunlight on the side of the hull shows up all kinds of little flaws and imperfections that I missed in the first run. Should I take the time to do it right, or should I just go ahead and paint it? But I would forever regret not doing it right. So I think I'm going to have to buy some more putty and put that on, which means I probably won't be painting this weekend. But that's okay. That's the way it goes in boatland. You can see the result of my handiwork. Now, somebody asked me why I bother to take such care and pay so much attention to the detail on the boat, but I'll explain it to you. If you look at where I've sanded, the darker spots are where the putty remains. It's fared in and smooth, so you won't see it when I paint over it. But if I had simply painted over it without putting the putty on it, every single one of those dark spots would show up as a ripple or a flaw in the paint, because it's going to be shiny, right? It's going to be shiny like a car, and so you'll see it. And to me, that would just spoil it. That would just make it look ugly. So that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm taking the time to make it flawless, because I want it to look good. I thought it'd like a progress report. These video clips are all kind of running into each other, but there's a considerable amount of time between each clip because of weather or running out of paint or whatever. But we are making progress. We've got 4 coats of Interprotect on the bottom in the gray. We've got 2 coats of pre-coat on the top sides. I'm about to sand top sides for the last time before applying bright sides. And my process for the top sides has been fairly simple. I sanded it down, sanded out all the nicks and dings and divots and what have you. And then I primed it. And then I used glazing putty to fill the nicks and dings that the sanding couldn't take out. Then I primed it again. Now I'm sanding it again. And the result should be a fairly smooth and glass-like finish. So if things go according to plan, I may end up shooting my bright sides final coat tomorrow, but the weather guy says it's supposed to be rainy tomorrow, and the clouds are rolling in right now, so it might be. If it is, then I'll have to put it off for a day. But if not, then I'm within a day at least of finishing up the paint jobs. So after that, we'll roll the copper coat in the bottom and turn our attention to putting things back on the deck. It's all good. In the meantime, the sun is getting low on the horizon, so it's probably time to call it a day, go home, have some supper, and get this video edited. So, as always, fair winds, following seas, and God bless. Oh, and if you don't mind, click the little like button. I know sanding is pretty boring, but it helps me get traction with YouTube, Google,